Then we have Nigel Clarke, okay, who mishandled the SSL situation, the scam and corruption at SSL. Nigel Clarke, let me ask you a question. Mr. Compensation Restructuring. Let me ask you a question. How many people has been arrested for the criminal offense against the Jamaican people? For the stealing of customers' money. And I did do a video of that, putting up all the list of names. Some of them, there were more that was uncovered later on. What happened? Is it only Jean Pantan that's going to face justice? Is it only Jean Pantan that's going to be locked up in prison and charged? She couldn't have done it on her own. I used to work in the financial sector, so I can tell you, there's no way in hell she could do that on her own. That's an impossibility. It can't happen. It can't happen. Whosoever is her immediate superiors or other people above her, they knew about it too. And if they didn't know about it, they failed in their jobs to catch it and to do something about it. So other people should be gone to prison. Nigel Clarke, another question for you. How comes the executive members of SSL aren't brought up in a deposition? You know what a deposition is, don't you? Of course you do. You're a Russell Group graduate from the UK. And for those who don't know what a Russell Group graduate is, in the US we have Ivy League. You know, Harvard, MIT, etc. In the UK we have Russell Group, which is the equivalent to MIT. Sorry, it's equivalent to Ivy League. So you have Ivy League in the USA, and we have Russell Group in the UK. That's where your Cambridge and your Oxford and your LSE and UCL and so on comes into play. Okay? So Nigel Clarke ain't no fool. He's a Russell Group graduate, PhD guy. So how come you haven't brought up Clarke, Cobham? What's the CFO of SSL and the compliance officer? All those people, all the senior executives and managers of SSL, they all should be in front of a deposition. We've seen the likes of Mark Zuckerberg, and his wealth is more than all of these executive members combined. All of these executive members combined, wealth don't scratch the surface of Zuckerberg. But how much time them drag in front of deposition over the situation with Facebook? Yeah? And data collection and all the accusation that was going on. And then he didn't steal any money. No scamming never go on. But there was a lot of data breaches questions that was asked. And look at the way he was handled. Look at the TikTok executive. He was brought in front of a deposition and questioned out several times by senators. And as ludicrous as that whole deposition was when it transpired, he still faced the flames. So here's my question to you, Nigel Clarke, who was in charge of that investigation and brought in all these different people. Why didn't Clarke, Cobham, even the other guy, what's his name? I forgot his name. I can't remember it, but I've done a video on it. All of those people who I've mentioned, they should all be in front of a deposition. They should be grilled for the information, all this secret behind the scene investigation, which has no accountability to the public. Brother, and you remember I said in one of my videos, I think it was my previous videos, I said, not the previous one, but the one before that, I said, I have my perceptions of Nigel Clarke, Mark Golding, and Andrew Holness. Remember I said that? But I was fair in saying, when he said he was bringing in, he was going to pay the SSL staff money to keep the computers running, yada, yada, yada. Because I worked in the financial industry, I said, listen, I understand how these things work, and it doesn't necessarily mean he's using, taxpayers' money to pay these people. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. But what I did say is I have my perceptions of Nigel Clarke, Andrew Holness, and Mark Golding. Now, if anybody was listening carefully, they would have known what the perceptions are. I didn't say what they were. I didn't spell it out. I didn't mention what the perceptions were. I just said I had my perceptions. But if you were paying attention, you would know what those perceptions are. What do I keep saying in all these videos? I don't trust politicians, and I don't trust political parties. And I think they are all corrupt. That's what I think. It's just an opinion I hold. So that's my perception of them. I'm entitled to my perception. I'm entitled to my opinions. Okay? Because I'm looking at actions like SSL, and I'm like, nobody's brought under deposition. This whole thing seems to be secrecy and confidential and private, and we're not seeing what's really going on. And until today, we don't even know the state of what's happening with the SSL situation. We don't even know if Usain Bolt got his money back. Did he get his money back? Usain Bolt, did you get your money back? Did you sign an NDA to say if we give you your money back, you say nothing? Which means that's not true. That's not right. If that's the case with Usain Bolt, I keep saying his name wrong. I apologize. I don't know why I say Usain Bolt when it's Usain Bolt. So my apology, Usain. My apology. Usain Bolt. Okay? If you've gotten your money back, every single cent, and you signed some type of deposition or made some type of promise that you keep private and you won't disclose what's happened with your money, in my opinion, bro, that's wrong. Because there's many others who probably didn't get their money either. I think you should publicly come forward and say, guess what, guys? I still haven't got my money, or they give me half of my money and they're messing me about to give me the other half. Or guess what, guys? I got my money back, you know, but boy, I didn't take an uphill fight and struggle with my solicitor to get my money back. But at the same time, I kind of feel away because other members, other customers, they haven't gotten their money back either. So what that would have done was keep the spotlight on SSL until all the other customers get justice too. That's where the selfishness comes in. I'm not saying that's the case with Usain Bolt. What I'm saying to you is, if that happened, he should come out and let us know where that is. All this secrecy, I keep saying, when people say nothing and them sign NDAs, or for whatever reason them keep quiet, you're complicit to the problem that we're facing. You're complicit to it, not meaning you agree with it, but complicit means like you know it's wrong, you don't agree with it, but you're complying with the situation at hand, either because you're scared to say something, or because you sign an NDA, or because you cut a secret deal or bargain, and as a result, that's the situation. Either way, it spells complicity to me. But you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. And I'm not gonna, you know, Usain Bolt is a victim. That's clear. He's a victim, just like all the others who were a victim. But for Nigel Clarke, we don't know what's going on with this. And my perception is, until that is changed, I don't know. So that's the first thing. Then the pay increase situation with Nigel Clarke, where he denied, that it's a pay increase, it's a compensation restructuring. That was when I sat up and looked at this man. I'm thinking, really? You're inventing ways to deny what it is. I mean, logically, you can say it's a compensation restructuring. But if that's the case, logically, you can apply that to any pay increase. Any and every pay increase is a compensation restructuring. So if I get a raise of pay, it's a compensation restructuring. If I'm running my own business as an entrepreneur and I award myself more money, it's a compensation restructuring. Come on, brother. You know what I mean? This is crazy. Now, the other thing I want to jump into is, excuse me. I think that's about it for him for now. Not much going on with him, but the SSL situation and the compensation restructuring. phrase that he's coined, which I always use to laugh at him. Or not really laugh at him, but just to have a laugh. You know, it's just banter for me, to be honest. I don't have any personal feelings or emotions or horse in the race when it comes to these politicians, because I just don't trust any of them. And none of them has given me any reasons why I should trust them. And as I say, I've got family members who are on both sides of the aisle, so we hear things, we've seen things. Some of my friends that I grew up with, their parents, I'm not going to say whether father or mother, I'll just say their parents, are politicians and MPs. Some of them live right beside each other as neighbors. Some of them live in the same neighborhoods with each other, down the road from each other, around the block from each other, around the corner from each other. So, hey, them exchange presents, them exchange gifts. You know what I mean? They invite each other over for dinner. With them having a party, a birthday party, or this or that, them invite each other's family over. They have a drink, them have a smoke. But yet still them supporters down, you know, are fighting and killing each other over these men and women. And these men and women are clinking champagne glasses and wine glasses. And they're at cocktail parties, ha 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 ha. And their children get along fine with each other. They get along with fine with each other. It's just that when they're in parliament, you see them going at each other's throats. It's all a game. It's not real. Because once parliament finished and the camera shut off, they're dapping it up with each other and they're pounding each other. And, you know, they're cool with each other. Some of them went to the same schools with each other. Some of them went to the same universities with each other. You understand me? Some of them, they're married into, them say it's a family affair, it's true. Some of them on both sides of the aisle, this one married this one, a cousin who married this one, an auntie, and it's one big mix-up, brother. It's poor people and working class people like us are being fooled and tricked. You know, so them switch from one party to the other as and when them want willy-nilly. Them not care. It's about the money and power for them and control. That's all it is for them. Nothing else. They don't care about the country. They should have a thing that says, unless you're born and grow up in an area, you can't be an MP for that area. That's another rule I'd put in place. If you're gonna go into, say, Portland or Manchester, Manchester. If you're gonna go like Mandeville or, you know, any one of the 14%, James, Hanover, you know, whichever parish, St. Thomas, St. Anne, Kingston, well, St. Andrew, not because a lot of people say, well, Kingston and St. Andrew is two different parishes. I don't think so. There's one parish, St. Andrew. That's the parish. Kingston is the city. Just like how you have New York and you have New York, New York. New York is the state and New York, New York is the city. So inside the New York state, you have New York City. But you never hear people from New York calling New York City a separate state from New York. But in Jamaica, I've heard this argument before where people try to conflate St. Andrew separate from Kingston. No, it's not. The city of Jamaica is in the parish of St. Andrew. We can't make it no clearer than that.